Coming up on SCTV3, we take a look at how Springfield College recruits its students.
Plus, stay tuned for the first ever SCTV3 Easter egg hunt.
All that and more tonight on SCTV3.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to this week's edition of SCTV3 Weekly News. I'm Caleb Knowles.
And I'm Connor Rourke. Thank you for joining us. We start tonight's show here on Alden Street. If you're a Springfield College student, have you ever sat back and thought about how SC first got on your radar?
The college's Office of Admissions works tirelessly to improve its recruiting techniques, trying to make the school stand out to prospective students and transfer students. Here's more on the story.
What is the appeal of Springfield College to prospective students? For many, it's the feel of campus that they're drawn to. But how do high school students pick up on that feeling? There's more that goes into it than you'd expect. From the moment prospective students first hear about Springfield College, much of their perception is shaped before they ever step foot on campus. Through carefully crafted social media posts, campus tours, and digital storytelling, the admissions teamwork showcases not just academics, but atmosphere.
We also do a fair amount of, fall travel. That's our main role, in the fall, in September, October, November. We do fall travel in specific territories. We communicate with students at college fairs. We communicate with them in their high schools. They come here for accepted student events in the spring and for open houses in the fall as well.
Platforms like Instagram and TikTok have become essential tools in reaching students where they already are. Students in various programs and organizations on campus collaborate to create authentic content that highlights the essence of Springfield College. But beyond the screens, the real challenge is translating that online presence into a genuine in-person experience. Campus visits, open houses, and personal interactions all play a role in reinforcing what students see online.
Marketing is also utilizing, a day in the life of students. So students are able to do those social media takeovers, which is nice. And in admissions in general, we also have personal pages for the incoming class.
It's not just about showing facilities. It's about telling stories. Whether it's highlighting student leadership, community service, or lifelong friendships, the goal is to make prospective students feel like they already belong. Admissions says the key to success isn't just polished marketing, it's authenticity. By showcasing real students and real experiences, they hope to give future Pride members a true sense of what life here is all about. At the end of the day, choosing a college isn't just about programs or rankings, it's about finding a place that feels like home. I'm here in Richard B. Flynn Campus Union, where many students take their first picture at Springfield College. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Connor Rourke.
Now, more than halfway through the current spring semester, college seniors are taking on challenges of the job search process. SCTV3's Tyler Semenich spoke with members of the Career Center to learn the key to crafting a perfect resume.
College seniors are currently in one of the toughest parts of their young careers, finding and securing that first job. Some students may land their dream job straight out of college, but for others, the job application and interview process can be challenging. Here at Springfield College, the Career Center offers a variety of support services to help students with resumes and the job search process. Scott Dranka, the director of the Career Center, shared some of his general knowledge on resumes and job applications.
Any senior should have a resume that really is collegiate geared and representing their last 3 to 4 years at college. A lot of times people will have stuff on there from high school or from things that are not overly relevant. We want a student to have their resume with their internship experiences, their related jobs, leadership experience, athletics, community organizations, conferences, seminars, research projects, research proposals that they've done. So it can be very collegiate geared and very related to their field. Look at the job posting, look at the job advertisement, and extract as many keywords and buzzwords that they are looking for in that document and weave that into your resume and put that in your cover letter. You're answering an ad, essentially.
Lori Rona, assistant director of the Career Center, also gives some advice on the keys to crafting a perfect resume.
So you want to have your education as like your first section. Maybe a summary, but then education should be right up at the top. Then you want to have like a related experience section, and we call it above the fold, being like, if you were to fold the page in half, assume they're only going to read to here and then stop. So we want you to hit them with the important information kind of in your first couple bullets. You want the things that you want to highlight. We do resumes, we do cover letters, we do grad school applications, we do interviewing techniques, then we do mock interviews. We do pretty much anything. Like if you don't know what you want to, if you know you want help but you don't know what it is, just make an appointment and we know what it is.
For students looking for help with the job search process and resumes, the Career Center is located in the Flint Campus Union on the main floor to the left side of the stairwell. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Tyler Semenich.
Members of the Springfield College campus community are encouraged to donate professional and business clothes and outfits as part of their college's ongoing Dress for Success clothing drive. The Mary Ann Coughlin Pride Pantry and Career Center are collecting gently used items such as dresses, jackets, button-down shirts, and dress pants. Collection boxes are located in many of the main academic buildings across campus. There will also soon be a pop-up shop in the Springfield College Pride Pantry where people can come by and collect whatever clothing items they may need for internships and interviews. For organizer Mackenzie Bates, this clothing drive is especially useful considering the current high costs of professional wear.
Especially in today's day and age, things are getting more expensive, and I believe that those type of things such as money and access to things that we need to be successful, I don't believe that those should be barriers for people to be successful in the things that they want to do.
If you're interested in donating, tomorrow is the last day that donations will be accepted. Questions about the Dress for Success clothing drive can be sent to Mackenzie Bates at mbates4@springfieldcollege.edu.
Springfield College students in the occupational and physical therapy departments connected with professionals in their fields today at a networking event hosted by the college. Students got the chance to connect with alumni in the OT and PT fields, with many of the students in attendance preparing to graduate next month. The event provided an opportunity for students to meet employers, explore job openings, and build relationships face-to-face. Even for those who have already secured positions, the fair offered a chance to connect with future colleagues across the region. Organizers of the event say this is one that students have an edge by adding a personal connection to the job search process. Director of the Career Center, Scott Drenka, talked about the importance of the event.
Networking opportunities like these are great because students can meet with the employers, the recruiters face to face, learn a little bit more about the opportunities that are there. And I always say to students, even if you've landed a job, landed an opportunity, you're going to be interacting with a lot of other clinicians in the physical therapy and occupational therapy field in the general New England area.
Event organizers encourage students who were in attendance to follow with connections made at their fair as they continue their job search.
This past Monday, the Department of Humanities, Social Sciences, and Criminal Justice hosted its first of 2 lectures as part of the 2026 Philosophy and Religion Spring Forum. The lecture took place in the Harold C. Smith Presentation Room of Judd Gymnasia and was delivered by Elms College Assistant Professor of Philosophy, Jason Burke Murphy. Murphy's lecture was titled, "Life Has a Meaning, But You Need to Testify." Murphy's argument in the lecture is that everyone has a reason to believe in a meaningful life. However, you have to find the skills to chase what matters. He also stressed that every person has their own life meaning, regardless of different cultural and religious beliefs. At the end of the lecture, attendees had the opportunity to ask questions they have regarding the meaning of life.
The conclusion I reach is no matter what the world is like, no matter what has happened, you should try to make it worthwhile.
The second lecture in the forum is titled "The Windy City in the Vatican, What Happens When the Holy Father is a White Sox Fan," and will take place on Monday, April 13th at noon in Judd.
This week, the Gender and Sexuality Alliance held Rainbow Fest, a week-long program which included a number of events to provide representation for LGBTQ+ community members on Springfield College's campus. SCTV3 River Mitchell has more.
This week, a handful of Springfield College's students took part in the annual Rainbow Fest, with events all week long across campus.
The best way that I can think of describing it is like a week-long Pride event on campus. So we do it because there's not a whole lot of people on campus that are very outspoken about being a part of the LGBTQ+ community, and representation for our community matters a lot to us. So we come out and we put on all these events during Rainbow Fest to kind of be more outspoken on campus, make sure that we have our presence known, and also advertise the fact that we are a safe space on campus for people within the LGBTQ plus community.
The events got kicked off on Monday, with a parade starting at the President's House and ending outside the main entrance to the Union. Tuesday featured a resource fair with drag bingo last night and an LGBTQ plus panel this afternoon.
The impact that I hope that they have on campus is a positive one. I hope that they are helpful. I hope that they're educational. I hope that they're fun. I hope that they're accessible. The impact that I want them to have is I want people to take new things out of them, take positive experiences from them, learn from them, have fun with them. The easiest way to be an ally is to come show your support. I mean, the people that we have at our events are not, you don't have to be gay or trans or whatever the case may be. Anybody is welcome at these events and at these meetings.
The final event for this year's Rainbow Fest will be the Pride Prom, taking place right here in Judd Gymnasium at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm River Mitchell.
There's a popular saying that April showers bring May flowers, but will we be seeing some of those showers this week? We turn it over to SCTV3's Emily Anastasio in Studio B with our local and national weather update. Emily?
Well, Connor, tomorrow will be cloudy with a high of 64 and a low of 38, but we will start to see those April showers come into play over the weekend, with Saturday bringing a high of 67 and a low of 40, and Sunday coming along with a high of 58 and a low of 39. The beginning of next week will halt the warm spring temperatures we have been seeing this week, but the sun will still be peeking through to provide some warmth. Monday it will be a high of 49 and a low of below freezing at 31. Tuesday will show a high of 55 with a low of 32, and Wednesday will bring a high of just 48 with a low of 30. We end this week's weather forecast with a high of 54 and a low of 30. Now, onto our national weather update. 2 firefighters were injured while battling an ongoing forest fire in Floyd County, Kentucky. Residents say that there have been fires in the mountains in the past, but never to a magnitude as big as this one. Just before 5 o'clock on Monday evening, the fire was burning on a 115-acre site behind nearby homes. While community members are still weary about the smoke rising from the hills, the Kentucky Division of Forestry put out a statement that said area residents are not currently in danger from the fire. 2 firefighters were injured while fighting the flames, but remain unnamed at this time. One firefighter was said to be life-flighted to Ohio to be treated, while the other was already treated and released from the hospital. The residents of Floyd County have seen the dedication of crews fighting the fire firsthand and are planning to prepare meals as a showing of support. Coming up after the break, we have another edition of our weekly Q&A. You're watching SCTV3 Weekly News. Stay with us.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
This week's Q&A features someone who excels behind the scenes. Laura Metallo, the Director of Development at Springfield College, worked alongside her team to raise money for the institution. Metallo recently played a major role in organizing the efforts for the college's highly successful Giving Day, which raised its goal of raising $1 million. I sat down with Metallo earlier this week to talk about how Giving Day prep goes and the more about her role at Springfield College.
So my name is Laura Mantello. I'm the Director of Development. So I oversee all of our annual giving fundraising. So the stuff that happens this year, we bring in the money, it gets spent this year, and then next year we gotta ask for it again and get more money. So it's like, essentially I am helping to fill our checkbook. Specifically from a fundraising standpoint, the biggest one is our Giving Day, which is we just had in March, early March. It is one day when we ask the entire Springfield College community to come together in support of our students. Day, while it happens essentially on one day, we actually make it 27 hours because we give our friends on the West Coast until midnight. It is a year-round planning process. Like, we meet the day after Giving Day to say what went well, what didn't go well, what do we need to change. And then we will meet throughout the year at certain checkpoints to say, okay, now we have to start thinking about this. And now we got to, we've already got a date set. Now we got to think about what's the marketing around Giving Day going to be this year. I mean, I'm sure everyone you talk to says the same thing, but it's the people. It's the people on my immediate team that I love working with. It is the people in departments across campus, and it's the students. I mean, they're such an incredible group of humans that it makes it easy to come to work every day and know that you're doing something to help them.
Matalo and her team put a lot of work into planning Springfield College's $1 million goal last Giving Day, and they have already begun plans to make next year's even more fruitful. Now, take a look at some of this week's national and international top headlines.
The United States Supreme Court has been holding hearings on multiple controversial issues with high-profile figures in attendance. SCTV3's Emma Bynes has more.
Yesterday, the U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments on President Trump's executive order to restrict birthright citizenship, which he signed on the first day of his second term in office. The Constitution's 14th Amendment says persons born within the United States are citizens of the U.S. The Trump administration argues the century-and-a-half-old statute does not apply to children of people who are in the country temporarily or illegally. Lower courts have already ruled that the order is unconstitutional. One of the arguments heard in court was from the American Civil Liberties Union. Here's Legal Director Cecilia Wong on what happened in court.
And I'm confident that the court is going to turn back this president's effort to radically rewrite our 14th Amendment rule of birthright citizenship.
President Trump did attend the arguments on his executive order for a little over an hour today, a rare feat for a sitting U.S. president to attend a Supreme Court hearing. The court is expected to rule on this matter in late June or early July. For SCTV3, I'm Emma Bynes.
Hearings are also taking place on issues such as mail-in ballots and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission.
There are new developments in the case of Charlie Kirk's alleged assassination. Tyler Robinson is accused of killing the right-wing activist at a campus event last September, but now his lawyers claim the fatal bullet may not match the gun allegedly used on the crime. SCTV3's Dante Iafredi has more.
It's been nearly 7 months since conservative political activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed during a Utah Valley University campus event on September 10th last year. Now attorneys for Tyler Robinson, the man charged in Kirk's killing, are asking to delay his preliminary hearings to review a mountain of material they say could help his defense. In a new court filing, the defense claims in an ATF report summary that the agency, quote, was unable to identify the bullet recovered at the autopsy to the rifle allegedly tied to Mr. Robinson.
Doesn't mean that those bullets aren't the same or that they aren't connected. It just means there isn't enough evidence there to come to a conclusion.
CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson says this is not unusual.
It is sometimes difficult to match bullets that were recovered at autopsy with bullets that are associated with a defendant's gun. And that could be based on lack of evidence and lack of markings on those bullets.
Robinson has been charged with aggravated murder in Kirk's death. He has not yet entered a plea. Prosecutors intend to seek the death penalty.
Robinson hid the gun and told his roommate to delete incriminating text messages.
Prosecutors allege Robinson admitting to killing Kirk in those text exchanges.
Roommate, you weren't the one who did it, right? Robinson, I am. I'm sorry.
Prosecutors also say they have DNA evidence that connects Robinson to the killing. Levinson says the inability to conclusively match the bullet won't necessarily damage the prosecution's case.
The prosecution has other evidence to rely on. This does not completely undermine their case.
Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Dante Iafredi.
The prosecution will continue to look into the information on the casings as more updates are expected to come soon.
The ongoing conflict between Iran and the United States has reached a new level, as hundreds of United States Special Operations Forces were sent to the region. SCTV3's Emily Anastasio has more on the story.
The United States' war with Iran has reached a new major turning point as hundreds of U.S. Special Operations Forces were sent to the Middle East, alongside the thousands of other Army and Marines paratroopers who are already within striking distance of Iran. President Trump argues that he is making progress in negotiation talks, but National Secretary Advisor Marco Rubio says otherwise.
There are new people now in charge who have a more reasonable vision of the future. That would be good news for us, for them, for the entire world. But we also have to be prepared for the possibility, maybe even the probability, that that is not the case.
President Trump threatened to blow up Iran's energy sources if talks fail, and also could use ground troops to attempt forcibly opening the Strait of Hormuz, which is controlled by Iran. The shutdown of the Strait of Hormuz has caused oil to skyrocket to $116 per barrel, which is up more than 50% since the beginning of the war. Iran also issued a warning to any of the U.S. troops that arrived in the region, stating that any troops invading would be, quote, set on fire, end quote. Recent polls show that a majority of Americans oppose sending U.S. soldiers to Iran heavily, including an increasing number of congressional Republicans.
The last thing we want to do is put troops on the ground. It's something I do not support.
President Trump was also quoted saying that he would, quote, be quite interested, end quote, in asking other Arab countries to pay for some of the American war operations in Iran, even though they are facing regular attacks from Iran. Reporting for SCTV3, I'm Emily Anastasio.
During his address to the nation last night, President Trump continued to speak about negotiation talks happening with new Iranian leaders, but Iranian officials responded saying that no serious talks were underway.
After the break, SCTV3's Jake Mawhinney has you covered with another edition of SCTV3 Sports Extra.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome to this evening's edition of SCTV3 Sports Extra. I'm Jake Mawhinney. Last Sunday was a busy one on Alden Street. Softball secured a massive doubleheader victory over Salve Regina, and men's lacrosse had its biggest second-half comeback from behind victory since 2013 in a dramatic double OT victory over MIT, thanks to a game-winning goal by Sal Posolico. And on the diamond, The baseball team swept Emerson in a game that featured a no-hitter from junior starter Josh Mayo. Here's what Mayo had to say about his performance after the game.
I mean, everything felt great. You know, my defense picked me up when they needed to. The offense scored enough runs where we didn't even have to go 9. It feels great, you know, just to be there, pick up my guys, you know, be able to provide for the team.
Now let's look at the teams who will be in action this coming weekend, starting with the teams staying home on Alden Street. Men's and women's track and field hosts its annual SC Classic on Blake Track, beginning bright and early at 10:30 in the morning. Men's tennis will face off against Clark University at 11, followed by women's tennis, also welcoming the Cougars at 2 in the afternoon. And women's lacrosse will battle Babson on Stagg Field to close out the home slate of games. Shifting gears to the teams taking a road trip. The theme of the Springfield versus Clark continues as softball travels to Worcester for a doubleheader NUMAC matchup. Men's golf travels to Trinity College for the Trinity Hartford Invitational. Baseball looks to keep the ball rolling in the NUMAC play, taking on Wheaton in a doubleheader. And finishing off our away slate is the men's volleyball versus Hobart. The Pride swept the Stateman in its previous matchup. All games will be streamed on Flow Sports. If you would like any extra information regarding Springfield athletics, head to springfieldcollegepride.com. This week's Athlete of the Week is softball's starting center fielder Haley Ball. The sophomore has played a crucial role for the Pride on the base paths. SCTV3's Emma Bynes spoke with the team's spring break trip and her starting role.
So Haley, you guys recently came back from your Florida trip where you guys had a pretty good stretch with a win over a ranked team. What was your highlight from the trip?
I would just say just going back to the house with everyone and hanging out, and we had a nice little dance party, and it was a lot of fun, and just being able to, I guess, make those memories with my teammates, especially the ones that are graduating. So yeah.
And on the theme of music, your walk-up song is The Edge of 17 by Stevie Nicks. Definitely a unique one, but a good one. Is there any special meaning behind that?
I just love Stevie Nicks, and my mom loves her, and I just needed the song that was going to get me confident, but also calm, so.
Haley, you stepped into a starting role as a sophomore this year out in center field. How has that mentality changed for you between last year and this year as a starter?
I just think it's all about the team and what I can do to help the team out, and just the coaches have really kind of made me feel more confident and helped me a lot with that. So yeah, it's just about kind of a team effort.
And then speaking of your coaches, you got a new head coach this year with Sam Garcia, even though she was here last year as acting head coach. How has she and the rest of your coaching staff this year with some returners really helped you out?
Again, just with that confidence, and they preach consistency and just showing up, getting 1% better every day. They're awesome. So yeah.
All right, Haley, you're from Maine. Final question. We're near the border in Connecticut. Maine lobster rolls or Connecticut lobster rolls?
You're gonna hate me, but I've never had lobster rolls. I'm not a big seafood girl, so I'm sorry.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
What's a nickname for people from Maine? Mainers?
Mainers, yeah.
Okay, disappointing for your fellow Mainers.
Okay, yeah.
Haley, thank you so much for joining us on SCTV3. We wish you well in the rest of your season. Back to you guys in Studio B.
For this edition of Pantage's Playbook, we stay on the diamond. SCTV3's Nick Pantages caught up with the softball's two-way star, Amelia DeRosa. Here's more.
To put it frankly, there's nothing on a softball field Amelia DeRosa can't do. I caught up with her earlier this week on Potter Field to get a breakdown of her skills.
So Amelia, obviously left-handed batter's box, probably your favorite spot in the field. Can you take me a little bit through what your approach is at the plate?
Honestly, I've gotten this question a few times, and my approach is, I think unlike others, I don't really have a lot of chatter in my head. Head goes pretty silent. I always kind of just start by making eye contact with the pitcher, making sure I got eyes on the ball, and just kind of getting into her rhythm. But other than that, I have a very see-ball, hit-ball mentality. I think that's why the more you think, I think the less successful you're going to be.
So now we're on the pitcher's mound. We're also a 4-year starting pitcher. So when you get someone 0-2 count with sort of pitch are you going for?
I gotta go with the curveball. Nice, right on the river. That's definitely my go-to pitch for my out pitch.
So you're also a third baseman in your spare time. You know, with pitching and hitting obviously taking up the majority of games, how do you sort of balance those two and also get your reps in at third when you can?
Practices definitely look a little bit different for me. I definitely have to split up what I'm doing. Sometimes I stay after to take extra reps, get it off the third or pitcher or wherever. I definitely think that third base is the least of my worries, just because with hitting you have to be locked in for every single pitch. Same deal with pitching. I got to be locked in for every single pitch of that at bat. So.
All right, so you guys made the NCAA tournament last year for the first time in your career. What was that feeling like, and what can you guys do this year to put yourselves back in that position?
It was kind of unexpected. We were hoping, of course, and when we got there, it felt like we kind of proved to ourselves that we are capable of making it to that high level of a competition. And this year, we already faced some pretty challenging competitions. I think it's just a matter of not caring who's in the other dugout and just going at them with full force. I think that we're very competitive this year, very aggressive, and we just want to get back to that tournament again.
On Monday, DeRosa was honored with her second straight New Mac Athlete of the Week award and her third overall. And her numbers this year are just ridiculous, leading the team in average at .522 with 24 hits, 6 doubles, and 18 RBI, while in the circle racking up a .257 ERA, 6 wins, and 32 strikeouts, while simultaneously leading the team in innings pitched and at-bats. DeRosa and the Pride will be back in action on Potter Field this Saturday at 12 o'clock. With SCTV3, I'm Nick Pantages.
The spring season is in full swing, and our athletic teams have been showcasing tremendous performances and receiving individual accolades. Sam's starting lineup returns this week, highlighting the best performances of the athletes on Alden Street. SCTV3's Sam McGilpin breaks it down.
What's up, fellow starting lineup lovers? I'm Sam McGilpin, the Sam in Sam's starting lineup. Here are the 3 best happenings this past week in Springfield Athletics. At 3 is Kate Casetos. The senior recorded 3 hits, producing 5 RBIs in the Pride's first game of a doubleheader against Salve this past weekend. Casetos' performance guided Springfield to an 11-0 shutout, and she also had another hit in the final game. After starting the season off slow, Casetos has been on a roll and has gotten her batting average above .300. The Pride are 10-3 on a 6-game winning streak and are receiving votes in the Division III poll for the first time since 2017. At 2 is Sal Basilico. After Joey Grenier makes a save in double overtime, the ball eventually finds Basilico, who froze the defender and pinged a bouncer into the back of the net. Look at that celebration. It's all-time stuff. The goal ultimately lifted the Pride to an 11-10 win in a game where they were down 10-4. It's the largest second-half come-from-behind win in program history since 2013. Basilico is a two-sport athlete, as some of his football brothers came to celebrate alongside him. At 1 is Michael LaPere. The outfielder came up to the plate down 6-5 with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th, and the bases juiced. On the second pitch of the at-bat, the grad student delivered. Here's the call.
There it is. Base hit. Advances the runner from third home. Runner from second going home to win the game. It's over.
That'll do it for this week's edition of Sam's Starting Lineup. With the Springfield College Television Club, I'm Sam McGilpin.
That will do it for this edition of SCTV3 Sports Extra. Stick around after the break to see who was the big winner in the SCTV3 Easter egg hunt.
My opponent is completely disregarding almost half of my arguments which I responded to.
Communities must step up
Laws
and
alone
protest
cannot
against this
stop a
normalization.
bullet.
Well, I completely disagree.
Point of inquiry, do you guys even realize that the #1 killer of children and teens are gun injuries?
You're probably starting to realize now, this is not a debate.
There is no adult in this earth that wants children to die.
I worry for my kids.
There is a road laid out for me.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and
With Easter right around the corner, SCTV3 Shane Barron and I put 4 Springfield College student athletes to the test in the first ever SCTV3 Easter egg hunt.
Hi, I'm Shane Barron.
And I'm Connor Rourke.
And today we're hosting our first annual SCTV3 Easter egg hunt.
We have 4 student athletes that are ready to participate in the egg hunt. There's 30 eggs scattered around campus in the campus green behind you, where they're gonna have 5 minutes to find out where the eggs are.
The student athlete who's able to find the most eggs is going to be walking home with a $15 gift card brought to you by SCTV3.
I'm Nate.
I'm Becca.
I'm Dante.
I'm Bailey.
Now let's get this thing started. 3, 2, 1, go. Where are you going? Oh, sorry. All right, go this way, go this way. Fade that way. Fade that way. Yep. Look at all the trees. You got another one?
Where?
I don't know. I don't see any.
I don't see any.
You find one?
What side do we have?
I got 2.
Two?
I got 2.
Dante!
We had to look around! What about the beds? Are they in the beds?
Wait, put this one in there.
All right. 2, 3.
3.
Yep.
Where?
I don't even know what I'm looking for.
Where?
Smart.
Oh!
Where? 4.
All right, 4.
If you had a teammate who you think would be really good at this egg hunt, who do you think it would be?
Oh, I see one. Brock Goodwin. Or Jake Gombots. What's your guys' favorite Easter candy?
Peeps.
The
The marshmallows, and they're fluffy, and the colors are cool, and I like ducks.
Yo, this
How
is
many
my
do you have?
practice round to beat my little cousins. Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
What you got right there, Bailey? What is that?
5.
Oh. Oh, 6.
Yep, just keep them coming. Go around chain.
Okay.
Is that one? Oh, it's already open somehow.
Oh!
7.
8.
Oh, that's 8.
What?
What do we got? Bang.
Come on, Dante.
Oh, there's one.
Dante.
Yeah.
Ready?
No, all right.
And yeah.
I'm not running. Are you an Easter breakfast family or an Easter dinner?
Like an early dinner.
I'm an early dinner, yeah.
Early dinner.
It's like a 2:30, 3 o'clock kind of thing.
Exactly.
What's the go-to meal for that?
Ham, I think?
Ham, scalloped potatoes. You know how it is.
Did you guys both do Easter egg hunts growing up?
Yes.
Yes.
At my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
And I have a little sister, so we do it for her too.
Just want the eggs now?
Spotted.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. Were you scared of the Easter Bunny growing up?
Depends on which one.
No, I don't think I was.
If it was like the cute little animated one, no. Right there, Bailey.
Where? Oh.
But like the human-sized one, it wasn't my favorite thing.
I think they're all found. That we haven't found.
You saw it?
Oh, I see it.
I thought that was a rock.
I don't know, dude.
Is it like...
Am I dumb?
All right, Dante, let's
Bailey, I'm trying. Like, you're getting my best.
spotted.
She missed one. I saw it.
Shane.
The bird's definitely sitting on it.
No! No!
Oh, you know.
I found one.
What?
I'm not worried. We already won.
Oh, that one. Bailey, get there. Sprint, get there.
You have like 12 of yours.
Go! Go! Go, Bailey! Yes!
Okay, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Bang!
You're bleeding.
Add to an effort. Love it.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yes. Come on.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Bang! Congratulations, Team C1, on their epic victory in our first annual COSJ Springfield College Athlete Easter egg hunt. Congrats, guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Huge win for you two.
That'll do it for this edition of SCTV3 Weekly News. Thank you for joining us.
Be sure to head over to the live stream section of our YouTube channel to check out all of our archive shows. And be sure to follow SCTV3 on all social media platforms.
We thank you again for tuning in, and we'll see you next week, same time.
Same place.